The wisdom of silence. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 19. In the village of Windermere, nestled between hills of gold and green, lived a boy named Eli. Unlike other boys his age, Eli had a gift, or so he thought. He could talk. Not just talk, but talk eloquently, endlessly, and with such charm that people often stopped just to listen. He told stories, shared opinions and the latest gossip, and gave advice, whether asked or not. But Eli's words, like unchecked wind, often stirred trouble and created damage. One morning, as the village gathered around the well, Eli overheard two farmers whispering about a dispute over a boundary line. Eager to be useful, he turned to the crowd and said, "It's obvious old Bram is trying to cheat Jonah. Everyone knows he's been shifting his fence post for years." Gasps rippled through the villagers. Bram, who had been quietly walking up the path, heard everything. "You have a tongue too quick for truth, boy," Bram growled, turning back toward his farm. That evening, Jonah came to Eli. "Why did you speak for me? I hadn't even told anyone yet. Now Bram thinks I betrayed him. We've been neighbors for 30 years. Eli tried to explain, but Jonah just shook his head. "Too much talk leads to sin, Eli," he said. "Be sensible and keep your mouth shut." It was Proverbs chapter 10, verse 19:1, Eli had heard before but never heeded. The next week, as Eli helped bake bread at the village bakery, he noticed the baker's daughter Mira slip a silver coin into her apron. Without thinking, Eli told another customer, "Looks like Mira's running her own little fiefdom." The rumor spread like fire in summer grass. By sundown, Mira was in tears, her father furious, and the village judge summoned Eli. "Words are powerful," the judge said, eyes heavy with disappointment. "Like fire, they can warm or they can destroy. You have used them to burn." That night, Eli sat alone beneath the stars. He remembered his grandfather's voice reading Proverbs at the hearth. "Too much talk leads to sin. Be sensible and keep your mouth shut." Proverbs chapter 10, verse 19, NLT. From that day on, Eli changed. He spoke less, listened more. Years later, Eli became the village's counselor, not because he had all the answers, but because he listened. And when he spoke, people paid careful attention, for they knew the words had been weighed and were worthy and true. And often, after offering some rare bit of wisdom, Eli would smile and say, "Even a wise man knows when to hold his tongue." Sometimes, the wisest thing to say is to just listen and say nothing at all. And those who heard him remembered, "Too much talk leads to sin. Be sensible and keep your mouth shut." Proverbs chapter 10, verse 19.